Hey, it's Rob from CrotchRocket.tv, and when we last left my race bike frame repair project, I made a mold out of fiberglass on the frame so that I could make repair parts in the future, or maybe sliders or something like that, but this wasn't going to repair the frame. So I wanted to show you what I've done since then to actually repair the frame. So remember I showed you that carbon and Kevlar fabric that I got, and so I used the same technique that I used to make the fiberglass piece on this with the mold release wax and the polyvinyl alcohol, then epoxy resin. Now there's 2 layers of carbon fiber under here, and then 2 layers of the carbon Kevlar fabric, and those layers are set 90 degrees to each other because the carbon Kevlar fabric is stiff in the direction of the carbon, but not so stiff in the direction of the Kevlar. So you have to set them 90 degrees to each other so that you get the stiffness of the carbon. Now, hopefully this will just pop off like the other one did, and we'll see what happens. Ah, yeah, there we go. Easy as pie. Okay. There we go. So there is our piece, and obviously it needs to be trimmed up, and as you can see it's carbon on the inside and then the Kevlar carbon on the outside. So I'll trim this up and then take all this paint off of here with a real rough, like a 60 grit sandpaper, to rough up the aluminum, and then I'll rough this up and I'll wash it out first with soap and water because the PVA is water soluble and it's still on here. And then I'll epoxy this onto the frame so it really stiffens up the frame and repairs the damage where I slid down the track. So I did the other side already, so I want to turn this over and show you what it looks like when it's on the bike and trimmed up. This is the piece laminated. Well, we're just having all kinds of fun here. Laminated onto the frame, and this was the part of the frame that I repaired. Remember, there's epoxy under here, epoxy putty, JB Weld, the putty they make that built this back up, and then I shaped it to match the frame as good as I could. And then to just add a little structural integrity and make sure that, I had an extra bit of safety on there, we made this piece out of the Kevlar and carbon fiber that I just showed you. And it's epoxied on here. I think it's going to work great. It's really light. It's super strong. I mean, this thing, when you are done with this carbon is really stiff and strong and really light. So I think it's going to do the trick here. And that's about it. Now, one thing you'll notice, I trimmed this up with like a moto tool type thing with a cutoff blade on it, because obviously it's really hard, and you can't really sand this stuff because when you're working with Kevlar, the Kevlar is so abrasion resistant that the resin sands out of the matrix first and it just leaves Kevlar frayed edges on it. And it's really hard to get rid of because the Kevlar is really tough and it really does not want to sand away. The carbon sands easily and cuts easily, so that shows you the difference between the 2 fabrics. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to do the other side, trim it up, glue it on there, and then try and get my bike back together because I think, as you know, we've got the Eric Buell Racing, the EBR 1190 RS now in the shop, and it's right over there, and I'm getting it prepped for the race on Sunday, which is now only, what, 4 days away. So I'm just buried under work. I've got this to finish, I've got that to prep for the track. I'm so excited about that race with Sean Higby riding that bike for us. It's just going to be a ball, and I may even jump on it too. I don't know. I've been riding it on the street a little bit, and it's just fantastic. It handles like a dream. So anyway, that's it for the race bike repair on the frame, and now I got to get this thing back together and on the track. Okay, that's it from CrotchRocket.tv. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.